Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Rhonda Van Winkle, and today we're going to talk about the mortgage crisis and some possible solutions for homeowners across America. Now, today I'm joined with Clarence Rowland of Restorelution Trustee Corporation.
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me, Rhonda. Glad to be here.
Well, thank you for being here. Now, your company has a very strong banking and real estate background. So what do you couple that with?
Restorelution Trustee Corporation, we began as a ministry helping people in the foreclosure business. We are a strictly administrative service that helps people stay in their homes amidst this foreclosure debacle.
Okay, and you couple that also with your beliefs as a Christian?
Yes, we're a Christian-based organization that was started based on Matthew 18:23. That says this, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a certain king that was reconciling his kingdom. And a certain servant or banker was brought before him that owed him 10,000 talents. And as much as he had not to pay, the king ordered him and his wife and children to be sold, or let's say go out of business. And the king had compassion on him after he asked him, and he forgave him his debts.
Right.
And he left from the presence of the king, and he went out and he found the first fellow servant that owed him 10 pence, $20, took him by the throat and began to foreclose on him. And the man fell down and begged him and said, "Be patient with me, I'll pay you all that I owe." The banker would not, and he took him and put him in the debtor's prison, him, his wife, and his children. Well, in like fashions, the bankers came before this nation in 2008, and they said, "Be patient with us, we'll pay all that we owe." And what happened was, not only did we forgive them their debts, but we gave them a bailout bonus.
Exactly. That's what I was wondering. We have the bailout. Why are we in this position then?
Well, even in Matthew 18:23, when the king called them back before him, they called them wicked. And in 2008, this nation took measures to stop the foreclosures. They put aside $500 billion to help people reduce their principal and make their monthly payments more affordable. But people had to be in default in order to do that. And so banks started encouraging people to be in default so that they could get the insurance premiums, but their entire intent was to foreclose on people.
Okay, so what makes your company different then? What is it that you do and why should people trust you?
Restorelution Trustee Corporation, we're here to stop foreclosures. We're different in that we don't attempt to modify or settle the debt. We believe in Colossians 2:14 that says that Christ has blotted out the handwriting on the note, the legal decrees, the bond, the deed of trust that was arranged against us. We don't try to modify, we simply want to blot out the debt through an administrative process as your trustee.
Okay, so you're going to blot out the debt, but if I'm in foreclosure right now, let's say my date's coming up in 2 weeks, and this is happening to a lot of people out there, can you still help me or help them?
Absolutely, no matter what. Possession is 9/10 the law. No matter what happens, you want to stay in your property, but you want to get to us right away because we need to file a certain amount of documents and put people on notice that you're protesting. And the only way for them to take your home is for you not to protest or object all the way. As long as you sound an objection to it, you have a chance and you will prevail.
Okay, well, that's good to know. I don't understand though why, loan modifications are a big deal right now. Everybody's doing it to try to save themselves from foreclosure. Why isn't it working for them? What's the problem with it?
As I mentioned before, the banks are somewhat out of order with this. In 2008, we set aside $500 billion to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. And when you go into default, and banks have encouraged people not to make their payments so they can be in default, the banks receive the full face amount of your original loan amount in an insurance payment. But it's not until they complete a foreclosure without your protest or objection can they spend that full face amount of insurance policy or insurance funds that they receive from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac.
I see. So the banks don't care because they're getting their insurance money and the property, and it's the homeowner that's left to deal with nothing. So then if you're getting a notice of default though, I'd be worried. I'm feeling like I've got to get out. I mean, what do people do? If you get a notice of default, do you have to get out of the home?
Absolutely not. What you have to do is you have to put them on notice that you don't agree with it. Second, you need to call Restorelution Trustee Corporation so we can assist you as your trustee to make a series of inquiries and presentments and put them on notice that they don't have a proper assignment to your home.
Okay, so you do that for me.
We do that with you.
Oh, with me?
With you.
Okay, great. So you're showing me everything I need to do to get through this process.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, so I give you a call and we do that. Now, you're talking about helping me blot out this loan, telling them I don't have to get out of my house. So help me understand this. In escrow, you know, when I sign an escrow, and I'm saying it could be anybody in America, when we sign an escrow, you know, the real estate company got a check, I got a check. So how is it that I didn't borrow money that I owe back? How does that make sense?
That's an excellent question, and the answer is this. Banks don't lend money, they extend credit. The difference is if I take $500 out of my pocket and I give it to you or lend it to you, that money's already in circulation. I could lend it to you or I could lend it to someone else.
Right.
Banks extend credit. And the difference is if we take your credit card and not your debit card and we swipe it, when that $500 is spent from your credit card, that's the first time it ever circulated in the economy.
Oh, that's interesting.
And it was created for you and by you. And like fashion, when you go to escrow to buy a home and they say they're wiring money into escrow, that's the first time those funds ever existed. It was created based on your name and social security number being converted into the cash that they used for you to purchase your home, and they did not one investment dollar, deposit dollar, or retirement dollar was used in that process. So that money was created for you and by you, and thus if someone takes your home, let's say for instance your mortgage broker helped you arrange the credit, right? If he came around because he had more information than you do and he said, hey, you haven't paid on your mortgage in the last 3 months, I'm going to foreclose on your home, you would object very virulently, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because you know that the mortgage broker did no more but help you arrange the credit. Well, the bank did no more than that either. They helped you arrange the credit.
So it's not their money.
The money came directly from the Federal Reserve based on your social security number and the note that they had you sign. And they somewhat tricked you to make themselves the beneficiary of that note and to make the title company the trustee.
Interesting. Okay. All right. So here we go. I'm fighting it with you, you said, and I'm understanding it. But what's your process? You said, you know, it's an administrative process. It's not judicial. What does that mean?
An administrative process is what most foreclosure trustees use. They send you out a notice and they question, they say, hey, you owe us these funds. And if you don't question those funds, if you don't affirm one way or the other, then those self-executing documents have become a valid debt. Well, we do the same thing that they do in reverse. We make inquiries and notices of them, and when they fail to answer, we have the right to take steps in your favor as your trustee.
All right. Well, that sounds good. So there's hope out there.
There's hope. There's hopes. Millions of Americans, as you've been listening to the news lately, that we found out millions of Americans have wrongly lost their homes because these banks did not have a proper assignment to these homes. You have to stand up and fight for your home.
All right. So anybody out there who's watching now, if you are starting to go through a foreclosure, they need to contact you as soon as possible.
Exactly.
All right.
Call Restorelution Trustee Corporation at 702-990-3890.
All right. Well, did you know that during the Great Depression, that nearly 1/3 of all American homeowners followed a procedure and received their home free and clear, and it was called the Homestead Act? Well, Restorelution Trustee Corporation still believes in the American dream, helping homeowners stay in their homes, and we would like you to call them. So call them at 702-990-3890. That's 702-990-3890. And really, everybody, this information can really help you. It's there, so you might as well use it. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm Rhonda Van Winkle for Young at Heart, and thank you, Clarence, so much. I hope that you are going to be coming back.
Thank you.